Hi guys, I'm Mark Walters with Walters World, and today we're going to talk about the marketing environment, a little bit of business today. And what you need to know is a business is like a person. We all survive and live and thrive in certain environments or fail in certain environments. I'm here with this beautiful fall air and the trees and the little squirrels hopping around, all these things. It makes my life better, it makes it easier for me to enjoy. The same thing kind of happens with companies. They need to look at their environment, and if it's good for them, they can thrive and be prosperous. But the thing is, we have to watch and see what's going on, okay? Now, if we look at the marketing environment, for any customer, or I'm sorry, for any company, their environment is based on one thing, the customer. Because let's be honest, if your customers don't like your products and your customers don't buy your products, you've got some big problems. So that's the focus of your marketing environment, okay? So you've got to make sure you're delivering products that they want and that they're going to want to buy and use and things like that. But what we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about other parts of the environment outside the customers, okay? We have what's called the immediate environment, these things that we can directly influence, and then you have what's called the macroeconomic environment, these things outside that affect all companies just in different ways. You know, for example, like smoking bans. I don't smoke, so a smoking ban doesn't affect me, but if you do smoke, it does affect you, okay? But it's the same law, it applies to us, just some people applies more than others, okay? So let's go through. Now, the first things we want to look at is the immediate environment. These three factors: one is competition, two, the company itself, like your company yourself, and your corporate sponsors. These are three things that you can directly relate to, fight with, improve, hurt, whatever, in order to be more appealing to the customer. Now, the company, let's start with the company first. The company, we can make good products, we can find out what customers want and deliver that to them. So obviously we can influence their buying behavior because we give them the best product possible or give them what they want, okay? The second part of the immediate environment is competition. Obviously how our competition does, that will reflect on how we're perceived, you know? Nokia was the best phone out there, then the iPhone came out with their touch screens and the fancy design and all kinds of stuff. And it didn't matter that Nokia was best 5 years ago. All that matters now is what people perceive it to be. And they perceive it not to be an iPhone. And that hurt Nokia. I mean, they crashed and burned, okay? So we look at our competition. What are they doing? And how do our customers now perceive us in relationship to them? It's kind of like if you're dating someone, okay? You look at them and you say, hey, am I doing better or worse than last time? Hopefully you're doing better, okay? So you look at kind of like that with the competition, okay? And then the third part of the immediate environment are corporate partnerships. Who are you working with? Who are your suppliers? Who are your partners? All this kind of stuff. And you'll see is sometimes for customers, that's very important. I mean, if you're in the organic supermarket industry and you're getting, you're buying supplies from a farmer Bob who lives right down the road, obviously it's going to help you because then the locals will say, hey, you know what you're doing. You're dealing with these people right down the street, so you have good corporate sponsors or good corporate partnerships because, hey, down the road, I drive by Bob's farm, this makes me happy, I want to buy from you some more. On the other side of things, if you have corporate partners that are doing bad things, okay, maybe, oh, I'm getting my baby formula from a country that had poisoned baby formula, that's going to hurt you, okay? So you always have to look at the relationships you have, your corporate relationships, because though you may say, I don't do much with them, if they do something bad, you can get taken down too. Now that's the immediate environment. These are things we can influence. We can make better products, we can choose who our partners are, and we can fight our competition. But then there's the things outside, these macroeconomic effects. And with here you have kind of 6 macroeconomic effects that we have to take account of, okay? The first thing you want to look at is culture. The culture is basically shared beliefs, shared ideas that people have. So, and sometimes you divide in different ways. Sometimes you may say a country culture. Well, yeah, if we're going to, I don't know, if we're going to the US, the culture is more look out for myself and we want to have fast stuff now. That's how the culture is, so we have to adjust to that culture. If we're going to India and we're McDonald's, we can't sell hamburgers because cow is a sacred animal. And I don't think anybody wants a ground up Jesus burger, okay, here in the US, so you have to take those things into account. How that influence you. Now, aside from country culture differences, you also, I mean, those are big things. You may say, well, we're not going to go work in India. Well, you know what? You might work in different parts of the U.S. And if you're McDonald's, well, some parts they call it soda. Some parts they call it pop. Some places they call it soda pop. Well, how do we standardize our stuff so we can tailor to each one? Do we have, in Ohio, we call it pop, and in Illinois, we call it soda? Or do we just call it soft drinks? Okay, you have to look at the different regional cultures and are there differences that are worth taking advantage of or that we need to watch out for. So that's the first macroeconomic thing, the culture of the place you're doing business. Second thing you look at is demographics. How's it set up? The age of the clients there, where, how much money people make, income, gender, age, all these things, you can divide it up. Because you may say, oh, we're going to have laws. No one under 21 can drink. Well, I'm 35, so it doesn't bother me because I'm 35. But if you're under 21 and you want to drink, well, it does directly affect you. But it also affects other businesses because now restaurants, well, we have to hire people to check IDs or bars. Make sure you're legal because I don't want to get in trouble because then we have laws that go there. There's all kinds of stuff that go into it. Okay, so you look at demographics. And sometimes you look at how's demographics going to affect us, maybe not today, but in the future. And now you have a lot of baby boomers in the U.S. getting set to retire. How is that going to affect things? And we look at it and say, hey, how can we take advantage of that? What could we do? Oh, maybe we build new retirement communities. So in 10 years, when there's millions and millions of more retirees, they can move there. What do we do to take advantage of that? The next macroeconomic factor you looked at is social aspects, okay? Social trends. So what's trendy now? And you may say what fashions are trendy, okay? What haircuts were trendy a few years ago, but hey, I don't have much hair, so leave me alone. Or you look at it, what's trendy today in America? One, going green, okay? We want to have zero impact on the environment, our carbon footprint's important, we want to recycle, all kinds of stuff. But as you see, trends change. Because now, Priuses or Toyota Priuses, you couldn't, they were selling like that, boom, boom, boom. Then all of a sudden the economy went bad and now we don't have a lot of money to spend the extra money to get the green environment, and then the other green becomes important. Which is another trend we see now is cost consciousness. In a recession and a bad economy, people are worried a lot about their pocketbooks, so we're seeing a lot more deals out there, special offers, stuff like that, dollar menus at McDonald's. This would be an example of culture, social trends that are changing. Another thing you look at in a macro effect is technology. Sometimes technology will directly affect you. If you are working on a manufacturing line and they invent robots to do your job, obviously it's going to directly affect you. You're going to have a problem if you're the worker. And if you're the company, hey, how do we take advantage of this? What do we do? Do we automate some stuff? Do we get programmers here? We look at that. As a professor, what revolutionizes me? Well, hey, I'm making a video right now for my students so they can study at 3 o'clock in the morning versus having to come to my lecture at 9:30 in the morning. Okay, so it can make things easier for different people, and you got to keep up with it, because if you don't, you could be like the slide rule. You don't even know what that is. Go look up slide rule and you'd be like, wow, I've never even seen that before. Yeah, technology changes, you got to keep up with it. Next thing you look at in macroeconomic effects is the economy, economic situation out there. If it's a bad financial time, like right now, it's a financial crisis in the U.S., there's an economic crisis, so how's that going to affect us? Well, we have more deals, we have, like, the dollar menu comes in because these factors all influence each other, and so you're worried about these things. Well, if you have a boom economy, well, we know it's a good economy. Hey, if someone's selling their house for $200,000, well, we got to offer them $220,000 because the economy's booming and all kinds of stuff. And that will influence our strategies and what we do and all kinds of stuff. Now, the last one of the macroeconomic effects is the legal political environment. Basically, the laws, regulations that are out there, and how do we take advantage of them, or how do we fight them off, or how do we just deal with them? Okay, if you look at, let's go back to that smoking example. They banned smoking in buildings. Well, if we're a bar, we have a problem, because people like to drink and smoke. And so now they have to go outside to smoke, so how do I get them to come back inside? What do I do? Let's make a beer garden so they can just go outside, enclosed in the bar, let the fence, and they stay here to drink some more and make some more money. And that's the thing, all these macroeconomic effects, you have to look at them and say, how can I take advantage of it? Okay, what are the laws? How do if it's going to hurt my business, how do I negate those as much as I can? Or if it's going to help us, what can I do to take advantage of it? With technologies, all kinds of stuff. Because you'll see companies that see the trends that are coming and take advantage of it. Amazon with technology. Amazon was nothing. You bought your toys at Toys R Us. You bought your books at Walden Books. Now you buy it all at Amazon.com from the internet, because they saw that's what was going to happen. So this gives you guys an idea of the market environment that companies find themselves in. There's the immediate environment, which is the company, your company itself, the competition, and the corporate sponsors. These are the ones that you can directly influence. And then they have the macroeconomic effects, which are the legal, political kind of stuff, social trends, technological changes, economic situation of the place you're in, cultural differences, cultural things, and demographics. So I hope this helped you learn about a little bit about marketing and how to analyze an environment and know the trends that are out there so you can be ahead of the wave, so you can be the one that survives the wave and doesn't get smashed by it. So if you want to learn more about business stuff or see some of our other videos, check us out at www.waltersworld.com, and please like and favorite this video, and we hope you subscribe. Bye from Champaign, Illinois.